You are exhausted. Exhausted from praying every night and waking up feeling like no one heard you. Exhausted from doing what is right while watching those who do wrong climb the ladder of success. Exhausted from carrying a burden alone that not even your own family can see. But today, at this very second, the heavens have opened, and the Father has a message that needs to reach your ears before this night ends. He said, because of what you did, I will pardon. And what comes after those 6 words will turn your life upside down before this week is over. Do not hang up. Do not skip. Because what is being delivered here reached your ears for a very specific reason. You needed to hear this exactly now at the moment you thought about giving up. Perhaps no one noticed. Perhaps you think you went unseen, but the Father saw. He saw when you cried in the office restroom and went back to your desk with a painted-on smile. He saw when your paycheck wasn't enough to cover the month, yet you still shared the little you had with that relative. He saw when you silently forgave that betrayal that no one ever knew about. He saw when you prayed for your enemy, asked for blessings for your boss, and lifted up the name of that person who hurt you. He saw when you fell to your knees in the middle of a random night, speechless with only tears. And it is because of that, because of each of those invisible gestures, that today he has decided to act. You think you are alone in this fight, but there is a movement happening in the spiritual realm that your eyes cannot yet see. There is a decision being written in heaven with your name on it, and that decision begins with the same phrase. Because of what you did, I will. I'm going to tell you now, clearly and directly, what the Father is about to do for your life. But first, I need you to understand something that has been hurting you for years without you realizing it. The symptom is this. You feel like you do everything right and nothing happens. You pray, you fast, you help, you forgive, you work, you provide, you endure, and the reward always seems to pass you by. The bills come, the doors close, people disappoint you, your body grows weary and hope becomes a flickering flame inside your chest. You find yourself thinking, has God forgotten me? That question hurts because it is the last whisper of someone who still has faith but is close to letting go. I need you to listen carefully now. He has not forgotten. He was waiting for the exact moment. The cause of your prolonged suffering is not punishment. It is not a lack of merit. It is not abandonment. The cause is the appointed time. There is a time in heaven that does not align with the world's clock. There is a harvest that cannot be rushed without destroying the seed. And everything you planted in silence, all the prayers that seemed to echo into a void, all the nights you hugged your pillow crying, were being stored. Yes, stored. Like drops of oil in a sacred jar that had not yet been opened. And today the Father decided to open that jar. Because of what you did, he will pour it out. And here comes the part you need to hear with your whole heart. Because what the Father will do is not a vague promise. It is not a generic comfort. It is a sequence of concrete actions that will begin to happen in your life over the next 21 days. And the first one has to do directly with what has cost you the most sleep this year. Because of what you did, he will break chains you didn't even know you were carrying. There is a spiritual weight over a large portion of Americans over the age of 35 that no one explains. It is that feeling that something is stuck. You get a job and it falls apart. You start a relationship and it turns cold. You save a little money and an expense appears that takes it all. It is not a coincidence. It is an invisible structure trying to keep you in the same place. And the Father said, because of your faithfulness when no one was watching, I will personally cut that chain. Not by the hand of a pastor, not with a borrowed prayer, but with my own hand. Now, before I continue revealing what comes next, you need to receive a key. Because this message landed in your ears for a reason, and that reason is connected to your calling. I know it seems strange to hear that word, calling. You may have never seen yourself that way. You are the father who wakes up early, the mother who performs miracles with a paycheck, the grandfather who looks after the grandkids, the ordinary person who just wants to live in peace. But the Father looks at you differently. He called you, and your current suffering is just the visible layer of a much larger spiritual chessboard, where forces are trying to erase you before you discover who you truly are. Every sleepless night, every late bill, every harsh word thrown your way is part of a strategy to convince you that you don't deserve it. But the Father has an answer for that, and that answer has a name. That is why the Father prepared the sacred book for you, The 21 Days of Prosperity and Alignment with God. This sacred book is not just a reading. It is a day-by-day path, written so that you can undo in 3 weeks what the enemy tried to bind over decades. Inside it, you learn to use your prayer as a golden key to understand why the Father said, "Because of what you did, I will," and to unlock the door that is holding back your blessings. The link is in the first comment of the channel. And I must warn you, this content challenges the narratives the system sells. They have already tried to erase this message in various ways, and therefore access time may be short. Download it now, open it, and comment exactly like this: "I am chosen, and I will download the digital book." This act is symbolic. It is your first concrete step of faith on the night the Father chose to visit you. Now that you have decided to act, the next truth I am going to tell you will be the final blow against that invisible structure that tried to bring you down. Because of what you did, He will restore, and that word restoration is one of the most powerful words in heaven's vocabulary. To restore is not just to give back. It is to give back with interest. It is to return double, triple, sometimes 7 times more. Everything that was taken from you unjustly is marked. That money you lent and never got back, that time you lost in a relationship that drained you, that opportunity that seemed to be yours but was given to another, that peace they stole from you in that workplace, that health that was shaken because of the pressure, that joy that vanished after that loss. All of this has an open account in heaven. And the Father said, "Because you remained upright even when no one saw, I will personally collect and return to your lap what was taken from you." And you will begin to notice signs, small ones at first. Money that appears from a place you didn't expect, a door that opens after being closed for months, a person who returns to apologize, a diagnosis that is reversed, a dream that reappears. These signs are not a coincidence. They are Him fulfilling His word, and the more you recognize them, the more He accelerates, because the Father likes an attentive child, a child who notices the details. Because of what you did, He will put your name in places where you have never set foot. You don't know it, but your name is being spoken in environments where you don't know anyone. Decisions are being made in your favor by people who haven't even seen you yet. A position, an opportunity, an invitation, a recommendation. The Father is moving pieces on the board. He is planting you in lands that will bear fruit for you, and when that door opens, you will understand that every tear had a reason. Every sleepless night was an investment. Every time you kept the faith without seeing results was a deposit into a spiritual account that is now yielding returns. But I need to remind you of something, because there is a trap that catches many people exactly at the moment of the breakthrough, and you need to be alert. When the blessing begins to arrive, the attack also changes form. It no longer comes as lack. It comes as distraction. It comes as a silly argument inside the home. It comes as an urge to spend what you should save. It comes as a person from the past trying to re-enter your story. It comes as that thought of, "Oh, now that things have improved, I can take a break from my spiritual life." This is the biggest trap, because the enemy can no longer bring you down through scarcity, so he tries to bring you down through poorly managed abundance. He gives you a little so you get distracted and lose the much that was coming. That is why the Father didn't just give you the promise, He also gave you the method. And this is exactly where everything connects. Remember what I told you about the spiritual chessboard? Remember what I told you about the layers? What you see is only the surface. Underneath, there is an entire system trying to stop you from reaching where the Father has already destined you. There is a gear that feeds on your complaints, your doubt, your fatigue, your paralysis. Every day you wake up thinking it's just another identical day, that gear gains strength. Every time you look in the mirror and doubt what you can become, that gear laughs. And the Father did not call you to this battle unarmed. He didn't pull you out of the quicksand to leave you empty-handed. That is why the Father prepared the sacred book for you, the 21 Days of Prosperity and Alignment with God. This sacred book is not just a reading, it is a practical manual day by day, with specific prayers, exact declarations, and daily actions that reorganize your spiritual frequency and align you with what the Father has already decreed. Each of the 21 days touches on an area. There is a day about cutting ties that pull you back, using words that heaven recognizes, words you have never used the right way. There is a day about clearing out thoughts that have been stealing your energy for so long that you now mistake those thoughts for your own voice. There is a day about speaking words that build your future instead of repeating your past. And you will be shocked at how your week changes when you swap 5 words you've always repeated for 5 new words. There is a day about managing what is arriving so it doesn't slip through your fingers, because the Father is going to give you great things, and great things need prepared hands. There is a day about covering your children, your marriage, your elderly parents in a shield that protects generations. There is a day about reconciling with your own body, your own story, your own name. All of this is thought out, written, and organized for you who heard this message today and understood that it is not by chance. The link is in the first comment of the channel, and I insist, this material challenges much of what is sold out there, and there are forces that do not want this knowledge to reach the hands of everyday people. They have already tried to silence it. They have tried to take down access. They have tried to discourage it. That is why you cannot delay. Download it now, receive this sacred book into your hands, and comment below, "I am chosen, and I will download the digital book." This comment is a milestone. It is the moment you tell heaven with your words that you have accepted the invitation. Also, take a moment to click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a like, because each interaction opens more doors so that others who are in the same desert as you can reach this message. You are not here by accident. You are here because the Father brought you, and now you become a channel for others to arrive. Imagine a month from now when you look back and realize that everything started on the night you clicked this video, commented that phrase, and downloaded this sacred book. This moment, this exact second, will be remembered by you as the point where your story changed direction. Now that you have decided to act, the next truth I am going to tell you will be the final blow against the feeling of invisibility that has followed you for years. Because of what you did, He will give you visibility. You have spent your life being the quiet one, the one who doesn't show up, the one who works behind the scenes, the one who supports the family without ever receiving a thank you, the one who carries the workplace without ever being promoted, the one who serves in the church without ever being recognized, the one who listens to everyone without ever being heard. And this invisibility was heavy, because every human soul needs to be seen. Every soul needs to be looked upon. And the Father knows that. He created you to be seen, and He said, "Because you have done good without needing an audience, I will stand you up in a place where your name will be remembered. Maybe it won't be on television. Maybe it won't be world fame, but it will be in the right place. It will be at the right time. That son who grew up watching your struggle will look at you and call you his inspiration. That granddaughter will write a letter saying she wants to be just like you. That person who criticized you will ask for your advice a few years from now. That boss who ignored you will need you. That relative who excluded you from the table will seek you out. Life will return the gaze that was denied to you, because the Father does not forget. And when the Father decides to give a child the glory that was stored up, no one can stop it. Because of what you did, He will heal wounds you no longer had the courage to touch. There are old pains in your chest, childhood pains, adolescent pains, pains from that first marriage, from that friendship that ended strangely, from that loss you were never able to truly mourn. You packed it all up and moved on because that's what you were taught to do, but the Father knows those packages stayed inside, intact. And at some point they come back in the form of anxiety, sleepless nights, a tight chest for no reason, an exaggerated reaction toward those you love. The Father said, "Because you continued to love even while hurt, I will open those packages with you, gently, without breaking you again, and I will take out from within them what still imprisons you. And you will feel a new lightness, a lightness that doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. You will be able to talk about things from the past without crying like you used to. You will be able to truly forgive, not just with your mouth. You will be able to look at old photos and smile. You will be able to meet people again and no longer feel that tightness. This inner healing is one of the greatest blessings there is, because the Father knows it is no use for a child to be prosperous on the outside and broken on the inside. He wants the child whole. Because of what you did, He will renew your mind. And this is perhaps the the most valuable gift he can give you. Because your life follows your mind. Where your mind goes, your life follows. If your mind is stuck in defeat, your life follows. If your mind is tuned into victory, your life follows. And the Father said, I am going to replace the thoughts that have aged you on the inside. I am going to erase that old movie that plays every night in your head, reminding you of what went wrong. I am going to remove that voice that tells you that you are too late, too old, too tired, too much of a failure. That voice is not mine. It never was. And starting tonight, I am going to teach you to recognize my voice clearly. My voice is the one that calls you by name with tenderness. My voice is the one that corrects you without destroying you. My voice is the one that pushes you forward when the world pushes you back. My voice is the one that tells you there is still time, there is still purpose, there is still a story to be written. Because of what you did, I will give you back the ability to hear this voice every day. And look, I know that as you hear this, perhaps a part of you is resisting. Perhaps a part of you is thinking, is this really for me? Do I deserve it? Is it not an exaggeration of my mind to expect all of this? I answer you, with the authority of the word that was delivered to you today, it is exactly for you. You are the exact person. It was not luck that brought you here. It was a choice. You were led. And that is exactly why I need to pause here and call you to the most important point of this night. Because a message without action becomes just a memory. And you cannot leave tonight only with a good feeling. You need to leave tonight with a tool in your hand. You need to leave tonight with a map. You need to leave tonight with a practical path so that each of these promises the Father is making turns into reality over the next 21 days. There is a spiritual strategy older than any civilization. A strategy the prophets knew. A strategy the men and women of faith in the Old Testament applied. The strategy of 21 days. It is not a random number. It is a cycle. It is the time heaven uses to break through barriers, overcome resistance, and deliver into the child's hands what was decreed from the beginning. 21 days of specific prayer. 21 days of exact declarations. 21 days of small daily actions that reorganize your inner world, your home, your work, your finances, your relationships, and your body. And that is exactly what the Father prepared in the form of a book. That is why the Father prepared the sacred book for you, the 21 days of prosperity and alignment with God. This sacred book is not just a reading. It is a structured battlefield day by day, where you will use the right words at the right time with the right posture, so that the promise you heard today, because of what you did, I will, converts into concrete fact in your life. I want to show you what is inside. There is the day of the breakthrough, where you learn to cut with specific words the invisible chains we talked about at the beginning. There is the day of restitution, where you learn to make a precise prayer asking back for everything that was taken from you unjustly, using the terms heaven recognizes. There is the day of visibility, where you learn how to position yourself before God to be seen, remembered, and promoted. There is the day of healing old wounds, with a prayer guide that helps you touch the stored pains without hurting you again. There is the day of renewing the mind with daily declarations that replace the old voices of defeat. There is the day of practical prosperity, with principles that the system hides from you. Principles that show why there are people who pray their whole lives and nothing happens, and people who apply the right key and see results in weeks. There is the day of family alignment, where you learn to cover your children, your spouse, your parents, with a prayer that protects generations. There is the day of purpose, where you discover that even after 35, 40, 50, 60, 70, the Father still has a mission written for you, and there will be a day when you will cry opening that book, because you will feel that the text was written while looking into your heart. I need you to understand why this sacred book is available now. There is resistance from the system against this kind of knowledge, because as long as everyday people believe that prosperity is just luck, that spiritual alignment is for strange people, that prayer changes nothing concrete, those people remain dependent, they remain asleep, they remain accepting crumbs. When someone puts material into the hands of the people that explains how the game actually works, the system reacts. They have already tried to take it down, tried to hide it, tried to discourage it. That is why the link is in the first comment of this channel and nowhere else. That is why access can be interrupted at any moment. It is not drama. It is how this type of content circulates in America today. You who are listening now, in your small town in the Midwest, in your big city neighborhood, in your simple house or your comfortable home, you who perhaps have never been invited to anything relevant in life are being invited now. Go to the first comment of the channel, click, download, open it, and right here in the comments section of this video, write exactly this: I am chosen and I will download the digital book. This phrase is an act of faith. It is your spiritual signature on the contract the Father presented to you today. It is not just any phrase, it is a verbal decree. And while your heart is still warm, do one more thing. Subscribe to this channel, hit the bell, leave a like. Because every subscription, every notification activated, every like, makes this message multiply. And there is someone right now, at this very minute, in this country, who is sitting on the edge of a bed with heavy thoughts, and that person needs to hear what you are hearing. Your click can save that person. Also comment on something that touched you in the video. Say which phrase stayed with you. Say which promise hit your heart. Say which area of your life you need the Father to fulfill. This comment is not just a technical interaction. It is a prayer stone raised in a network. Every comment here is a candle lit on a collective altar, and the Father responds to a collective altar. I know you might be listening to me while doing something else. Maybe you are going to sleep. Maybe you are in the kitchen. Maybe you are at the bus stop waiting to go home after another heavy day. Maybe you are with your phone in your hand inside your room, in the dark, afraid of another tomorrow just like today. Stop what you're doing. Sit down. Breathe. Repeat this word inside you. Because of what I did, He will act. Say it 3 times. Say it with your voice, even if it's a whisper. Because your voice has authority in the spiritual world. Your voice moves what your eyes cannot yet see. And when you join your voice with the sacred book, 21 Days of Prosperity and Alignment with God, you are forming the exact combination that heaven recognizes: word plus method, faith plus action, feeling plus strategy. This is what separates the child who receives the blessing from the child who watches the blessing pass by. I don't want you to watch. I want you to receive. Therefore, once again, download this sacred book in the first comment of the channel. Comment, I am chosen and I will download the digital book. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with that person you love who is going through the same desert. Now that you have decided to act, the next truth I'm going to tell you will be the final blow against any doubt that this message is indeed for you. Because of what you did, He will confirm it to you with signs. And this is the part that many people miss by not being attentive. The Father is not going to notify you with a trumpet. He is going to notify you with details that only you will understand. It will be that repeating number you start to see on the clock. It will be that song that plays on the radio at the exact moment you were crying. It will be that person who calls out of nowhere asking how you are. It will be that verse that appears from an unexpected place. It will be that dream in the middle of the night, with a scene that seems like an answer. These signs will begin to multiply in the coming days, and the more you recognize them, the more He will send. It is His way of telling you, son, daughter, I am with you, I am fulfilling it, stay strong. Because of what you did, He will raise people up by your side. You have been walking alone for too long, and it wasn't by your choice, it was by circumstances. People left, friendships grew cold, relatives distanced themselves, and you got used to the loneliness. But the Father did not create you to be an island. He said, I will bring near to you new people, the right people, people who will listen to you without judging, people who will pray with you, people who will recommend you without asking for anything in return, people who will sit with you at a table and remind you that you are a person. This renewal of relationships is one of the greatest blessings there is, and it comes to those who remained upright even when surrounded by the wrong people. Because of what you did, He will give you time. Time in our world today has become a luxury. You run all day, serve everyone, solve 100 things, and when night comes, only exhaustion is left. There is no time left to read, to pray, to look at your child calmly, to hug your partner without rushing, to take care of yourself. The Father said, I will reorganize your schedule in a way you cannot imagine. Things will leave your routine because they no longer need to be there. Other things will enter, bringing rest instead of a burden. You will begin to have space within your day, space to breathe, space to listen, space for you to exist as a person and not just as a function. This space is where the rest of the blessing finds ground to grow. And here, at this exact point, I need to speak to you with an open heart, without stalling, without fluff, as if I were sitting next to you tonight. Everything I delivered to you tonight is true. Every word, every promise, every path. But all of this depends on one thing, on what you're going to do when you press the button to close this video. Because there are people who hear a message like this, feel a beautiful emotion, close the phone, sleep, and the next day go back to the same routine, the same complaint, the same defeat. And what could have been 21 days of transformation becomes just a sweet memory. Do not let tonight become that. Do not let tonight be just emotion. That is why I repeat, with the clarity of someone sent to tell you exactly this. That is why the Father prepared the sacred book for you, the 21 days of prosperity and alignment with God. This sacred book is not just a reading. It is the practical continuation of this message you are hearing. Without it, this message ends here. With it, this message becomes a 21-day cycle in your home, in your routine, in your family, in your body, in your mind, in your job, in your heart. The link is in the first comment of this channel. You open it, download it, and start today. Not tomorrow, not on Monday, not when there is time. Today. Even if it's just the first day, even if it's just one prayer. But start. I want to tell you something about how this sacred book was designed. Every word inside it was chosen, considering the person over 35 years old, considering that father who works late as a delivery driver, considering that mother who raises her children alone, considering that retiree who discovered that their pension doesn't cover their medicine, considering that woman who separated at 50 and thinks life is over, considering that man who lost his job after 45 and doesn't know how to start over. Every example, every prayer, every exercise speaks to your reality. It is not a book translated from another culture. It is not an adapted foreign book. It is a word written for our people, for our land, for our way of feeling God. And that is why it is bothersome. That is why they tried to silence it. Because it puts into the hands of the common person a key that only the initiated used to know. It takes away the monopoly on practical, spiritual information. It democratizes access to the 21-day method. And that, in the world we live in, is revolutionary. You are being invited to this silent, personal revolution inside your home, inside your chest. And comment down below, "I am chosen and I will download the digital book." This phrase is your signature. When you write this, you seal what was spoken. And look, I want you to know, the forces that tried to erase this message over the years, and those forces do exist, they are bothered exactly by that phrase. Because as long as people believe they are victims, that they have no chance, that they were not chosen, that prosperity is for others, they remain asleep. The second a child of this people says, out loud or in writing, "I am chosen," all of heaven moves. Imagine thousands of people commenting this at the same time, on the same night, on this same video. Imagine the size of the altar that is formed. Imagine the size of the response the Father delivers. You are part of that. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, hit the bell, because from today on there will be content every day to help you sustain this breakthrough. I didn't deliver this message to you for you to be alone from now on. I delivered this message for you to be part of a community of sons and daughters who are waking up, who are repositioning themselves, who are understanding that the time of defeat is over. Share this video with at least one person tonight. Send it to that sister who needs to hear it. Send it to the family group text. Send it to the friend who is going through a hard time. Every share is a sowing, and sowing always returns with a harvest. I want to end this part of the video by giving you a detail that no one has told you yet. The Father didn't just say, "Because of what you did." He said, "Because of what you did, I will." The difference is in that future tense. I will is a decision made. I will is a word given. I will is a commitment assumed by the Creator of time and space himself. When a man promises, he can fail. When a system promises, it can lie. When an institution promises, it can change its mind. But when the Father says, "I will," the entire universe must reorganize itself for that to happen. The stars reorganize. The angels reorganize. The people who need to find you begin to move without knowing why. The doors that need to close begin to close. The doors that need to open begin to unlock. All of this because he said, I will, and he said, I will because of what you did. Take that. Hold on to it. Repeat it until you fall asleep. Now that you have decided to act, the next truth I am going to tell you will be the final blow against the feeling of, will there be time for me? Because of what you did, he will give you time, age, and purpose in a way that will surprise you. There is a lie in this world that says after 35, life slows down. After 40, the doors close. After 50, it is too late. After 60, you just wait. This lie has destroyed millions of potentials. The Father tells you today, as long as there is breath in your chest, there is a mission on your agenda. You are not late. You are arriving at the right time. Everything you have lived through up to now, including the mistakes, including the falls, including the years you swear were wasted, was construction material for the person you have become. And this person you have become has something to deliver that no one else can deliver. You have a word to say that only you can say. You have a place to occupy that was saved for you. Because of what you did, this will be revealed. And when that revelation comes, you will understand why everything happened. You will be able to look back and say, now it makes sense. That job I lost, now it makes sense. That door that closed, now it makes sense. That person who left my life, now it makes sense. That plan that didn't work out, now it makes sense. Everything fits, like pieces of a puzzle that only reveal the complete image at the end. And when that image appears, you will cry with gratitude for every no you received, because every no was a hidden yes. Every closed door was the right door being guarded. Every disappointment was a protection you didn't see at the time. I end by giving you the summary of tonight's word, because I want it to be engraved in the depths of your chest like a seal. Because of what you did in silence, he will act with a loud voice. Because of what you planted in the dark, he will harvest in the light. Because of what you believed without seeing, he will show you clearly. Because of what you forgave without understanding, he will restore you without hesitation. Because of what you sustained without having strength, he will give you a new strength that doesn't come from your body, but from heaven. Because of who you are and what you became in the middle of the desert, he will introduce you to your next phase. And that next phase starts now, not a month from now, with a click, with a download, with a comment, with a decision. Go to the first comment of the channel. Get the sacred book, 21 Days of Prosperity and Alignment with God. Start today. Comment below, I am chosen and I will download the digital book. Subscribe, leave a like, hit the bell, share with those you love, and come back tomorrow and the day after, and in the following days, because this series of messages does not end here. Each new revelation will find you at the right moment, with the right word, with the right key, so that these 21 days are the beginning of the most transformative cycle of your life. The Father said, because of what you did, I will. And what he will do already began the second you clicked on this video. Do not waste this night. Receive the word, receive the sacred book, receive the key, and walk. This sacred book, 21 Days of Prosperity and Alignment with God, is waiting for you in the first comment of the channel, the very moment you finish listening to me. Do not close the video without having done these 3 things. Download the book, comment, I am chosen and I will download the digital book, and subscribe to the channel. These 3 actions together on the same night form a spiritual seal. A seal that tells heaven, this son, this daughter has accepted. This son, this daughter has received. This son, this daughter is ready for the next phase. All of heaven is rooting for you, and I am too. The Father's next message is already being written, and it comes even stronger, but it will only reach you fully if you sustain what you received today. Therefore, before anything else, download the sacred book, comment the phrase, subscribe, and come back tomorrow. I expect you. I will see you tomorrow, on the other side of this breakthrough.